Welcome back to Roadside Rescue. I'm Ernest, and on this episode, I've got an old Pontiac over here. I've already come and looked at this car before, and they initially contacted me and said they thought they had a water pump issue that, hey, how much is it going to be to replace the water pump sort of deal. I wasn't even going to diagnose it, but I went over there here now, the second time I've been here, but this is far away. This is like almost, not almost this is it's almost Salt Lake City, and I never work up here, but I think their brother is one of my customers close to where I live, so I was like, sure. They told me they knew what they wanted. How much would it be? I came up here with all the parts, and it was expensive to do the water pump on this because it's timing chain driven. So I was gonna do the timing chain, the components, all of that timing, and I came over here, and lo and behold, it's not the water pump, it's the actual hose connection at the back end of the water pump that goes into the heater core. So the water pump to heater core, I've got hoses for that. Their belt's squeaky and the tensioner is jumpy, so I was like, yeah, let's do that too. Let's do the oil change too, because they wanted to do that. Well, that tensioner, there's two options. It's the hard one. Luckily, I brought both tensioners with me. I had to special order that one from overnight, but it's a few days later, 2-3 days later. They got this car from their grandma. I was like one of the only mechanics even willing to do the water pump, and I feel like a lot of people would have just done it anyways and fixed that leak and been like, yeah, it's almost $2,000. I said, you know what, let me figure out what the actual leak is before we do the timing, and it wasn't the water pump. So let me show you it up close. I think you can actually see it. It's right above the oil dipstick, which on weird car, the dipstick tube's in the back. This has a 4-cylinder. There's a V6 option. That one's easier to work on. The 4-cylinder, it's a little weird. Pretty decent cars though. I never work on them much. Timing chain driven, better than a belt. Anyways, let's save them over $1,000. And this video is sponsored by Lasfit. Lasfit sent me some nice LEDs, honestly, with incandescent bulbs. I feel like I'm just living in the 20th century. LEDs are a much better option. Having a good set of lights is super important. Bro, you want to be able to see the potholes and stuff on the road. Let's go ahead and upgrade this Ford 500. The first thing I want to do is just check out the quality of these lights. You know, I'm worried about, are they just gonna fit? Are they gonna plug in well? Well, I can tell you they fit well. Just looking at the LEDs, they look good. Everything looks good. It comes in a metal housing, and this should snap in right into place easy, but more importantly, it even has its own built-in cooling fan, so this should last a long time. And then of course I was wondering how easy these were gonna be to install, and I made sure that the connectors were the right size, that these are the right bulbs to fit in this vehicle, and let me tell you, they plugged in easy and they fit just perfect. But what impressed me the most was just how bright they are. Lasfit makes bulbs that fit every vehicle, so find the ones that fit your vehicle. Upgrading your headlights is one of the easiest things to do to make your vehicle safer. And these are a perfect mix between brightening up the road and not blinding somebody coming down the road at you. Ooh, holy moly, those are bright. Thanks to Lasfit for sponsoring this video. If you want some of these, check out the link in the description and pinned comment. Whoa, that's worse than I thought. Almost there. Got the hose out, but not the connector. Broke off right there. It's got that spring in there. It's hard to get off. Half an hour later at least. All right, it's getting late in the day. I like working on those classics. I put that back together well. I cut the fuel line down low to put a bigger fuel filter on it, and it was just siphoning out gas. I didn't have big enough cutters, so it took me a couple minutes to cut it. The whole time it was just dumping gas, and finally I got a filter and some better clamps on there. But speaking of classics, I thought that was like, that's the end of the video, but I'm going to work on another 64 C10 carburetor. The choke doesn't even work on it, so I just told him, hey, let's go ahead and redo that. But the main issue was the coil, why it wouldn't start. There's no spark. So I'm actually headed right over there at the end of the day to do that, and that'll be the end of the video.